Today I want to share a technique with you that I've been using for years. What it is I don't have depth finders and fish finders and all of that modern technology when I fish. And so I do what's known as kick it old school. I go out and I find me a place where I want to fish at. And what I do is then I bait that hole out. And this is the way that I bait it out. I get me some of this hen scratch. It has milo, corn, wheat, rice, sunflower seeds, all type of stuff in it. And I take me a jug. It doesn't matter what type of jug it is. This is an old milk jug. The main thing is that it has a lid on it that you can screw on and off, because the ones that just pop on, well, they'll pop off and it'll let all of your bait out. But you can use any type of jug. I like to use these antifreeze jugs. Okay, you fill your jug up about half full with that milo hen scratch. Then you fill it up the rest of the way with water. You let it set for a couple weeks and then let it sour. And when you come back, what you do is you take this out on the boat with you and you tie a string. Okay, here's my string. Alright, here we go. I'm back with the program. Here's my string. You tie one end here and you tie a brick on here too to weight it down. Then on this other end of the string you attach it to another jug. But wherever you want to fish at out there, you hold this over the side of your boat and then you take a drill and you drill holes in it. I like to use a 1/4 inch. I done drilled some. Real easy. When you drill it like that, all of that water that you had put in there is going to be soured, and it's going to drain out into the lake or stream or pond or wherever you're going to fishing. Which that's okay, because when you sink this, it's going to fill back up again. But you don't want to get it in your boat or on you, because I promise you that this stink bait, if you get it on your hands, is going to take a while to wash it off. But then after you tie the string on it, then you sink it down to the bottom of the lake or wherever that you want to bait the lake. And I tie another jug on the other end so where I know where my baited spot is. Now nowadays they use a deal where they say, I dropped a pin on it. Okay, well, this is kicking it old school, dropping a pin. This is the only way I know how to drop a pin. I don't have that modern technology. If you got modern technology, well, that's good. Okay, but that way, if I ever decide that I want to pick this up and move it, I know right where it's at, and I can pull this jug back up out of the water and move it. But if you'll drop that to wherever you want to fish at and let it set, you can like start fishing right away, because it brings it in. It brings the fish in pretty fast. But that's called baiting a hole, and you can bait it, and that way your fish come right to you, because like I say, I don't have a fish finder. Now if you don't want to use the wet stinky version, well, when you go fishing, you can just bring you some of this hen scratch like this, and you just throw it out there where you're fishing at and broadcast it. They call it broadcasting it. You broadcast it out there, and this corn and milo and stuff will sink, and that'll start bringing in the fish. What happens is this stuff here, when you throw it out there, it starts bringing in the perch and the carp and the small bait, and when the small bait starts coming in, well, then it brings you brings in the bigger fish. Now this here is pantyhose, and I have filled it with this hen scratch. Okay, what I do, I've been buying pantyhose for years. I always have pantyhose on hand. And the reason that I do is if you're using like a perch trap like this right here, you can take this hen scratch, you can put it in the pantyhose and tie the end of it up, drop it right into your basket, then you put your basket back together, and of course you throw that out there, and that attracts the fish in. That attracts the fish in to your fish trap. Now, I want to show you this over here. This here is like, you can buy these at the store and they sell them. It's basically the same thing that we're doing here, except for we're home making ours, and I've been home making mine before they come out with these. Back in the day, we used what they call a tow sack or a burlap sack, and that's what they're using here. You can buy these at Walmarts and different places, and they sell them like they come with a string, and the bait is inside of them, and you just throw it out there, and when you get ready to leave, well, you're supposed to pull it in and take it with you. And they make them that attracts crappie, and some attract catfish. This one here is probably to attract catfish, but what we're doing here is we're making our own. They're a lot more cheaper, and it just works out better when you sour. When you let it sour, it brings them in. That's a trick that they've been using for 100 years. Now, let me show you a couple more little hacks here. This is a 100-foot trot line, and here is another 100-foot trot line. Now, those there was gave to me by Bigfoot Johnny. When I was fishing with him, we couldn't get his boat in the water on the Trinity River. We was going to do some fishing and look for Bigfoot, but we got sidetracked on that deal. And so he gave me 2 brand new trot lines, and they're 100 foot with 3/0 hooks and 20 of them. And like I say, what I do is I take these trot lines and I do away with those little hooks that they bring with it, and I use about a 5 or a 6/0 hook my own self. Now, let's see here. Pantyhose, fish trap. I think we about covered it all. Like I say, you can buy the same thing that I'm building at Walmart, but for the price that you buy a couple of these, you can make your own and have dozens of them. And that's called baiting a hoe. And for people like that's fishing off the bank, you can do the same thing. Just I do it. I take a jug like this and fill it up and tie a string on it, and I throw it off the bank out there as far as I can, and I let it sink. And I've actually left it out there at my fishing camp, and when I'd come back, you could see big old carp, a bunch of big old carp up there sucking these the feed out of these hoes, and so it works real good. So that's just a little fishing hack from Captain Hank. Grasshopper Logan broadcasting some of the hen scratch out over the water to bring in the bait fish. There it is. Broadcasting. We're getting ready to catch some bait, and that'll bring in the bait fish. Grasshopper Logan.